I've been looking at, the unfortunate situation obviously that happened in Minnesota with that woman losing her life, right? Could have been prevented, right? Didn't have to happen. But what I want to point out is a kind of a more important thing as to where we're headed, because this is exactly the type of behavior that the people on the left who are in power are encouraging these people to do. This is just a result of the people at the top, right? The people who are in power on the left, the leftists who are in power, the liberals, right? The people in the Democratic Party who are telling these people to resist. They're actually encouraging this and telling them that this is okay. Because these people would never ever behave like this or act like this if they were not encouraged to do so, or maybe they were not getting paid to go to these protests and doing all sorts of things, right? If people at the top were not encouraging these people to do these things, they would not be doing this. And there are a plethora of other examples I can give, right? You can talk about the immigration problem, right? When Biden and them were in office, right, the Democratic Party normally has open borders, right? They just let anybody into the country. What happens, right? These people come over and they stick here for years and years and years, and then they don't file for the right paperwork. They don't do the right process in order to stay a citizen of this country. And then somebody like Trump comes in, and then he kicks everybody out. He's deporting them at rapid rates, and their lives are getting ruined. Not only are their lives getting ruined, their children's lives are getting ruined. So the Democratic Party and people on the left who are encouraging this don't even realize that they are literally hurting the people who they are so-called trying to help. Because obviously coming into a country illegal and staying here and not getting the correct documents, right, which they are encouraged. I mean, these people are getting incentives. They're getting, taxpayer dollars. They're getting their food paid for. They're getting apartments paid for, right? They're getting housing paid for. What incentive is there for them to actually go out and do the right thing and get their documents? And in the end, right, when somebody like Trump comes in, who hurts, right? Who feels the brunt of the kick, right? Who feels the brunt of the pain? Them, the people these people on the left were so-called trying to help. Another example could be the Somali case that's going on in Minnesota right now, the fraud, right? The Democratic Party and Tim Walz, right, clearly encouraged these people and allowed the fraud to go on. They knew it was going on right under their nose, right? You're telling me the top guy, the governor, doesn't know that this is going on in his state? And what happens, right? Nick Shirley goes on and he exposes them, right? What happens now? All the child care funding has been paused, and now all these children and the institutions who are taking care of these children, now they have to jump through hoops to prove why they deserve that child care funding money. So every single time, it's all these liberal policies and these progressive policies. Every single time it happens, they are hurting the people that they are trying to protect, and they're vouching for without even knowing.